I'm Suzanne.
And I'm Annie.
And we have 111 years of experience. And on today's episode, we're going to be interviewing my daughter, Shannon, and talking about
life as a sibling of a special needs person. So, Shannon.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You're our first guest.
I know. Yes. Honor special. So anyway, what do you think was, like, as you've grown up now, because you're an adult, you know, living in the world, you know, the things, how has being the older sister of a special needs person, how's it affected you?
Now that I've grown up and like gone through childhood, high school, college, all the way up to adulthood,
Where you're a mom.
where I'm like high alert on everybody now, not just her, but it's been, I wouldn't say it was rough, but it was, you know, it's not typical like siblings,
Right.
how they act with each other and like fight and do each other's hair and nails and
Yeah.
whatever. It was, she does her thing, I do my thing, and then sometimes we have one parent go with one and then the other stays. So it was, it was very, again, it's not rough, but rough.
Different.
It's
Different. It's like, it's kind of like, I always think of it like the attention, it gets divided differently.
It's like one sibling has one more attention than the other, but not at the same time. But I don't know. I was in sports all throughout my life, and then she had sports at the very like peak of her elementary, middle.
Right.
So she got to do her thing later on, but I did it my whole life. Yeah, starting from when I was 5. So it was kind of rough not having both parents there, but I knew that somebody had to stay with her, otherwise there would be some kind of
Chaos.
issue, and I didn't want them to have to deal with all of that like in public and stuff like that. So she was a runner.
Yeah,
she was.
We figured it out. We figured out when she was a year and a half. She ran out in front of a car. We were at a birthday party at a park, and she ran out in front of a car. And luckily, they were just rolling through the parking lot, or they would hit her.
Oh yeah.
And so that scared us to death. And so then we were like, well, we're not going anywhere with no fences, you know, with no way to
because supervision becomes the
is it fenced or is it not fenced? Yeah, if it's wide open when we can't go.
Yeah,
it's what it got to be.
We would be worried that she would get lost, or she did one time when we were in Gatlinburg, I think. She like wandered off looking at some stuffed animals.
Right. But that is pretty amazing, though, that you guys got through all those years and it was only one time. Honestly, it was not one time with us. It was probably 100 times.
Oh my gosh.
He was notorious for just seeing something and just walking over to it and not even realizing that he was not with us.
Yeah.
Like the idea that he wasn't with us was like, oh, no, you know, like there was he wasn't worried about himself.
Yeah.
He wasn't scared.
Yeah.
But
thank goodness.
Yeah. So like I don't always, but I kind of had to come to this conclusion that all that judgment that I put on other people about maybe like having a leash. Yeah, we thought about that. Ever going to feel that way again?
Yeah, no.
Because I understand.
Yeah.
I get it. This is, yes.
Yeah.
Supervision is a priority.
Yeah.
That was it. Yes. It was not optional. It was not even like look away. It was like, you better be paying attention.
Yeah. All the time.
Yeah. And then if it would be fits and she'd lay out on the floor or like hit her head on stuff,
or she'd hit her head before she started talking again.
Yeah.
So it was rough at times.
Right. Very
out
rough.
in public. So
yeah.
But now that she's gotten older, it's way different.
Right.
But
yeah. Because I feel like you kind of hit this time in the development where it is at the roughest emotionally. And then it's like you do kind of mostly smooth out. It's not the same for everybody, of course.
No.
But like, our experience was that we kind of had a really rough time in elementary and early elementary years, preschool, elementary, and then it just got a lot, not necessarily easier, but different.
Yeah.
He began to cope better with the things that were coming around. We were able to handle, the getting in front of some problems before they became
Right, because as that's you know what was
we knew what triggers were.
Yeah.
No, we knew what things could be. So like we were kind of like in the same thing where it might have to be a fit and let it be over, and then we'll go on and do this, or maybe they can't do it.
Right.
And then it's okay. So sometimes we'll just have to figure out another plan B to get to where we wanted to be, what we wanted to do. So do you feel like it's affected your connection with her?
Sometimes, just because she is a little bit more distant now. I say now. She's more up in her room, but she will come down if she knows that I'm here.
she now always comes down if she or Shannon is here.
Right.
In fact, I'm surprised hasn't already come down here.
Yeah.
That's probably the reason that she doesn't. If she knows Shannon is here,
I'm gonna say that's the funny thing is like I felt like for a long time with my two sons that it was the connection was so different. It was such a different connection than your like you said, like your typical brother relationship. Yeah. So in a lot of ways, he had to turn to his friends for that connection,
right,
instead of his sibling.
That's kind of how.
So your friends actually become like your siblings. Yeah, they become the sisters that even though you wish it could be different, they just don't have the capacity for that kind of connection at the time, and they're not unhappy. So like you don't want to be like imposing a negative into them, like a negative vibe or whatever into them about something that they don't even know is missing.
Right. Because it's not missing to them.
It's not missing. She's like, well, that's my sister or sister, I want to be part of what's going on. But on the other side of it, I do completely understand that connection is so different. It's just a different kind of connection. I also think too about like, my son and my older son, like I said, he became the big brother to other people in the relationship he would have wanted to have with his younger brother. He did it in different way. Like he expressed it in different ways, and he found other people who filled that. Who filled that role for him. I think sometimes that is the way we cope with the differences. Like I say, a little bit to a point, disappointment that it's not the way you would have hoped it to be. Because there is some like grieving and things like that go with realizing that the situation is so different than your typical situation. But there's a lot of brothers and sisters that just don't get along. So at least you two get along.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So like I always try to like look at the positives, like take the negatives, of course, but like also like really embrace the positives that are like, no matter what, she's always going to be there.
She's always there. Yeah.
You're not, maybe not in the way you'd like her to be, but like, I will always be there for her.
Yeah, I definitely did that growing up, where any type of sports team that I was on, I grew close to who I was on that team with. And even during college, I had friends that I did that with. Like, we always had friends come over here, and it was just...
That was in my grand scheme before we even had kids. That upstairs, I knew was going to be... One of these days, it was going to be filled with teenagers. I already knew it.
I was a vision, right?
I was like, they're going to be in the upstairs bedroom, and then... When our kids are older, they'll have their friends and they'll be hanging out. And this is going to be the house to hang out in. That way I can keep an eye on them.
Yeah.
And keep an eye on what's going on. So, But that, for sure.
It was like the safe spot for everybody.
Yep. Exactly. And he knew like they had adults there, but then there was also like a certain amount of freedom with having your own space up there. Yeah. So it was a good compromise for everybody. Yeah. And even your friends, because they may not have had that at their house.
Right.
Yeah.
I took them everywhere because that was why we had a van, so I could take her and all her kid friends everywhere they wanted to go. And
So do you think that you mother different because of it? Do you have a different perspective being a mom?
Yeah, I think I'm more high alert now on anything that they do because I always ask her, I'm like, do you think they have tendencies of this?
Sure.
They have tendencies of that. So, like, I can't.
Yeah, I
I can't count on however many times you were texting me that I've asked her about my kids and like, yeah, do they have this? Do you think this is where this is going? And she's like, no. just
Did you worry? Did you worry?
Oh,
like, when you were pregnant? Because, like,
I mean, not necessarily when I was pregnant because I was young.
Yeah.
I was 21 when I had Kennedy. So my mindset was not,
yeah,
and it didn't matter to me. I mean, my doctor asked me like if I wanted genetic testing done, and I told her it wouldn't matter. It didn't matter anyways, even if I got them done. Because I had like the necessary ones for all of them, but my first pregnancy, she was like, "Oh, do you want to test for autism?" And I'm like, "Why? Like, first off, why? Second off, they're done that. Second off, how do you do that when you're still pregnant? You know, there's not a rate, like the baby's not fully developed, so I don't know what she meant by it, but I was like, no, it's not gonna matter. So yeah, I was. We'll figure out when she gets here, and yeah, she's perfectly fine. So yeah, I mean, I feel like I parent more on the side.
Yeah. Sure. It makes sense. That makes sense to me because, like, your experience has been, it's different. High alert.
I really am.
Well,
I was high alert with her for my whole life.
Yes.
So it's like, it's kind of you kind of can't unprogram that.
I really think, like I told you before, my older brother was epileptic, and he had learning disabilities, and he was have a lot of issues. And I totally understand what you mean when you say high alert.
Yeah.
Because at any point in time, he could have a seizure. He would have grand mal seizures, and he would fall out onto the floor. So it did change I feel like I've told you before, it changes my startle response. So your typical, oh no, response that you have, that's a totally natural thing that everybody has, line was gone because I was just lived in that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I constantly at any point I might have to, and I just really even would like, things would happen with my kids and I wouldn't have that same response because I lived in high alert. My alert was so high.
Yeah.
And so much on those little details of keeping everybody safe and happy that I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So sometimes it would look like I had no response. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it was just the fact that I was always at that level, that vigilant level.
Yeah. And I wondered that too at church. At school, like just being a teacher, we go through we're constantly on high alert anyway. And I thought being that way at home and at school, you said that, I thought I hadn't even thought about that, but mine's been gone.
Yeah, it's gone. Like it's
so long.
Yeah,
and that's why
I noticed. Like there was a few times over like 2 years or whatever, maybe 2 or 3 years, that things have happened, and I totally don't it's gone.
Yeah,
I just don't even have a startle response. Not to say that if I didn't see like a snake on the floor, I wouldn't jump up and run away.
Yeah. So, like mine's still intact.
But I'm gonna say, like, if something happens to one of the kids, it's like I go into rescue mode. Yeah. There's like a rescue mode in my brain, and I just it just funnels right in. Yeah. It's like you see a police officer with training, and all of a sudden their training kicks in. It's like, it's deep.
I feel like it depends on your occupation too, like teachers, anybody that works in a hospital, or
and because you had to do like codes and stuff, haven't you?
I mean, not necessarily do them. Have I gone to them? Yes, but I was just there if needed.
Yeah,
but I can't physically do anything. I know how to do CPR, but I'm not. Unless you really need me, I'm not jumping in there.
There's probably like I would be in your shoes. I'd be like, well, there's probably somebody else who.
Yeah, I'm last resort.
Yeah, last resort. Get back at your support staff.
Yeah, if you need me, you're right. I'm here. Yeah. So I mean, can do it, but
Yeah.
we're just gonna.
I think in some ways it's been a positive to not have that, and then some ways it's kind of a negative.
Yeah.
Like I think like I can see the positives. We're working in the school, and I've worked with a lot of different kids. It has also given me like a lot less reactivity to situations and to people and different things that they say or whatever. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Like, I just really like whatever, dude, and it doesn't affect me the way I've seen other people be reactive to like somebody else say the same thing to them, and they'll do like, like you feel like they have a huge reaction to it. I think it is like taking that away from my personality in a way, from having grown up in that situation. I feel like those two are definitely related somehow. I'm not exactly sure like what the actual ties are,
Biological,
but there's like something to that when you're in that hypervigilant state a lot
all the time.
that you lose certain amount of that initial that you get
My cousin,
or whatever you want to call it.
Jeannie, we were talking about because she has a kid that said not only has autism, but he also has had a lot of really hard health issues
Okay.
that she's had to deal. He's been in the hospital. He had to be on like homebound for a while.
Yeah.
When he was younger, and we were talking about that. We were just like, it's whatever.
Well, I mean, like my mom says it like this.
So let's do it.
Yeah,
She said her blood pressure's not even high because that's just
the way she is.
Yep.
Mom always said too, you don't cause drama when you've seen real drama.
right.
She's like, you don't stir up things when you've seen real tornadoes come at you.
Right.
I'm saying,
Exactly.
we're like, I've seen real terrible stuff. I'm not trying to make something little into something big, like that. I mean, I've heard her say that in many different ways, but that's kind of the gist of it. And, but you don't borrow trouble. Like she'd right. Like, you just don't. When you really had the wolf at your door for real. No, it's okay. Move on. We're happy. A good quiet day is a good day. Yeah.
But do you remember when you realized your sister wasn't like other kids? That's what I had written down to ask.
I was 7 around ish elementary school because I had to go. Well, you had me talk to a school counselor, and I just kind of. I don't remember what I said to her, but I remember I was just kind of like, "Why am I in here?"
Like this.
Like I knew was Well, I knew that you were doing. Now that I'm older, I'm like, she was doing what what I was possessed with something traumatic. I mean, I wouldn't even call it traumatic, but traumatic.
Well, I mean, when your sibling acts the way she was acting at the time, because that was probably before. If you were in kindergarten, first grade, well, probably first grade because you weren't with me in kindergarten. So, with the way she was, her behavior was, she wasn't talking. There was a lot of frustration. She was having aversions to food. She was throwing up all the time, and it was just a mess. It was hard. So, and I knew that I couldn't talk to you because I'm your mom. So you'd be like, la, 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 la. You don't want to listen to me anyway. So, you need to talk to somebody that wasn't me. Because I still wouldn't listen to
She was listening to the other lady. I was surprised.
And it's not that I didn't listen, because quite frankly, I don't remember what she said. Obviously, it wasn't
that important.
I wouldn't say good enough because it didn't really stick.
Yeah.
But she probably did what she could with the information that she had.
Right.
I mean, she's a school counselor. It's not like she was an actual therapist.
Right. Yeah.
And I just kind of had to, we all were learning at the same time. Like it wasn't like I was learning something.
Yeah, we got you all the answers. We did not. Not one bit.
Just kind of learning at the same time. And I was just like, it is what it is at this point. Yeah. So, 7-ish. And that was rough anyways, just because of the elementary school age. Like, I was doing gymnastics and I was gone all the time. And like, we were gone all the time. So I only had one parent basically I wouldn't even say one parent because I had my dad, but he was with her here.
Yeah.
And then when both of them got to go, she was with my grandparents. So, but majority of the time it was just my mom that went with me everywhere, literally everywhere.
Yeah.
So that was rough, not having both of them and her at the same spot. When I was doing all of my gymnastics, cheer,
Yeah, I
whatever.
remember those times in our family be like a logistical nightmare. It was just always like somebody was dropping this one off, and then this one would be, like wait until the second parent get there. Then I would take my younger son home and try to, normalize his environment. But we were always just like that. It was just every day.
Yeah.
What was, the things that would come up. My oldest son played hockey. And so a lot of times I would take him to his practice and I wouldn't stay for it, but I'd have to make sure he was there. And then Mike would come from work and then he would meet us there. And then we would like switch off. And then I would take my other son home and start his evening routine. Yeah. So like it was tag team. It was, and at that point too, to say, I was really relieved that I didn't have more kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as much as we like have talked about it over the years and stuff, that I just think that there was a reason why we only had the two, because I don't just think about if we'd had one more, we've been outnumbered.
Oh yeah.
We could still focus in on, the one at the time, and then, we were still even. But you have multiple kids, so like you're outnumbered a little.
That, just a little. Yeah. I mean, I still kind of wonder at some point, I'm like, are they doing this?
Yeah.
Are they doing that? Or whatever. I don't know. Growing up with that mindset, and I try not to be like that for my kids, just because it's like, you don't know. And if they are, they are,
Yeah.
But yeah, growing up, elementary school, middle school is harder just because that's middle school in general.
Yeah, middle school is
terrible.
Ridiculous. I've been middle school.
It's just tough anyway.
Yeah, but then having to deal with her going to elementary school and like having to deal with everything that she was having to go through in school on top of here. And then, like you said, when we went out in public, everybody knew us all the time. So even during school, it was never a break from everybody watching us.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Literally.
You felt like the spotlight was on you. For sure. Like if you watch your fishbowl, I would say.
Yeah.
Where just everybody can just see what's happening all the time, and it's not always pretty, and there's nothing to do about it.
Yeah. Yeah, because if she would pitch a fit out in public, everybody's watching. It's not like nowadays where people have the decency to stop and help people.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, it was just, I'm going to stare at you and
judge you.
Then talk about you later on. And I mean, people still do that. People are worse about it now, but people are more knowing about what the situation is and what it looks
I
like.
think because there's a lot of people out there dealing with similar situations. There's it's just
I think there's a little more compassion than there used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that it's like,
because they know more, like I said, they know more about,
and it's our awareness, and they know more people who are dealing with this kind of issue.
Yeah. But I will say in high school, when I was graduating, she was about to start freshman year.
Yeah.
And that gave me I don't know if it was even anxiety, but it was just like, she's going to be in this open place that is, I've already lived through it. And if I wasn't in any type of after school curricular, whatever, how would I have done just being a normal teenager, let alone somebody with autism, special needs, whatever. So thankfully I had one of my friends who I grew up with who already knew her there. So that helped me kind of transition to college. And I mean, I was still here,
right,
physically, but not there. So having her there to kind of watch out for her, and if she needs help or whatever, she was there for her. So, and then, I mean, you know how she is. She's on her own anyways. She didn't even tell her what to do. She's just getting to it.
Right.
Well, she had really good teachers. She was in a really good program.
Yeah.
And they kept her out of trouble.
You're busy. Got a lot of things going for you.
Yep. So I think she did better than I would have ever thought she would have done in high school. but it was because that school was such a good school
Right. Right.
and the program was so good. The teachers were so good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I have a question about the future. Like it is like we think about it a lot in our house. Like we were talking about it a lot. What does the future look like for both of our children? Because we don't want to put extra pressure on our oldest son, but we do realize that there's a certain amount of supervision / care that's going to require somebody's going to need to meet.
Some type of responsibility.
Right. Well, how do you feel about all that?
It's not necessarily weighed on me my whole like adult life, but and like we've talked about it, and I was on the fence about some stuff and back and forth about it, and it's like, if anything happened to them, where would she go? And I was like,
Yeah, those are real issues.
yeah, well, and I was like, I will take her and we'll live life however we see fit. But then I was like, I don't know about financially. And then I went back and was like, no, like I'll do all of it. Like I'm not going to give her or let her be like a burden. You know what I mean?
Sure,
like
sure.
she's not a burden to me. She's not a burden to
Exactly. And I think that's like the number one thing that like as parent, like you do not want to feel like you're putting an additional burden on your kid. But on the other side of it, I do know that you probably feel a certain amount of responsibility also.
Yeah.
So like it is a very fine line.
Yeah.
And I love that you guys talk about it. You know, it really is kind of a unique situation that not everybody faces. But on the other side of it, I think it is like a lot more than we realize. I think like as time is going on and you see more people with autism or with some kind of special needs, that there are just a lot more people who need that family support, you know, in one way, shape or another.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, I don't want to see her in like a group home. Not saying that that's like worst possible outcome. Like, God forbid something happens to me too and she has to go there. But like, I don't want that to be a first priority. And I know some people can't, like, they don't have parents left or they don't have the financial stability to take care of them, or like they don't have a big enough space or whatever. Like, yeah, they have to go there. And I understand that. But it's like, if I'm able to and I'm willing to, like, that's what I want to do, is keep it with me and keep it as normal as possible and not have her do something that's, she knows nobody. It's a whole different routine. Right. Now, granted, if, when the time comes, if she has to go with me.
Or if she wanted to do it.
Right.
It would be a completely different story.
Right.
And that's a completely different subject. If she was like, oh, no, I really want to do this or whatever.
Yeah.
That would be completely different.
Yeah.
But given the situation, that's probably not, that's probably not going to be reality.
No. Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, I worry about that. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I've not really had probably as many conversations with my older son the way I would like to, but I do worry about it, like what's going to happen. And we're in a unique situation as well, because my son also does, he does a lot of things independently. Yeah. So like he drives, so he essentially would love to live in an apartment, and he would like, that would be his probably number one goal right now, is to eventually move out and get his own place, or at least, be a roommate or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, we don't, it is a fine line to be able to say, okay, I want to give you, for us, to give him his independence, but also still not lose what connection we got, because he's so into his own things. Yeah. But sometimes we don't feel that connection.
Yeah. You have to like claw it out of it.
Yeah. So I got to push my way in, grab what I need, and kind of elbow my way back out, because he's very happy in his, I call it the nest. Yeah. He's been happy in his room doing his things and not really having to deal with anybody else. That's his happy place.
And that's the thing too. Yeah. With my sister, she'll come down if I'm here, but like I have other people with me when I'm here, and doesn't like the noise very well.
Yeah.
She prefers the chaos is a little much that she can handle.
And then my husband, I love him half to death.
He aggravates her.
He aggravates her so, but he means it well.
Yeah,
It is not like a
playing with her.
yeah. He's playing with her, but
She just goes, Matt.
She does that to Mike.
Yeah. It's just,
She's
it's about the same thing.
because he loves to aggravate her.
Yes,
He just wants to push the button.
Yeah, that's what he does. Yeah, it's the same thing. That's hilarious.
It's funny.
And my dad's the same way too.
Yeah,
gosh. He'll aggravate her, and she just goes. She'll pop her sides. I'm like, I love it. Papa's just aggravating you.
Yeah.
I know.
I think like I think it's funny too how like that is. I think she understands that.
no, yeah.
But she just doesn't always enjoy that.
She's like, I'd rather not be the target.
Yeah, yeah. If you could offer some advice to anybody that may be like going through something where they have a sibling and they're just not exactly sure how to deal with it, do you have any advice for them about like how do you deal with it? What is your perspective on looking at the situation that is before you,
Yeah.
and how do you handle it?
Basically, you have to have, and I know people say, I have no patience. Everybody has patience. You just have to let it show. And you can't think like, oh, my life's over just because I have a sibling with special needs. Like, your life's not over. It's just different. It's just different. And
Sure.
you have to, it's like when you have kids, your life's not over. It's just different. It's just, you have to live it the way that you have to.
So like acceptance.
Yeah, you have to accept your reality and you just have to keep going. You can't just stop just because you've got...
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that your life has changed. And like it's the same as it was, just now you have a word for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still just the normal life. I mean, it's not like the day we found, like I was saying, the day I found out that my son had autism. I cried, and but it didn't change the facts of life.
Yeah,
Our life really did change. It was that internal, emotional, oh, this is what it is. I had to kind of go through a few of the steps of that and, kind of just absorb it. And then at that point, I felt like it was wholly accepted.
Yeah.
I couldn't deny it. There was no denial left. It was, this is just what it is.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm accepting them, accepting my role in it, accepting that there were things about this I couldn't change, but also accepting the fact that as a sibling, you're not 100% responsible for the situation either. Like you have to like kind of give that over to your parents to just be like, all right, let me know, I'll help you out when I can, but this is your thing, and I'm here, but like, I still got with my life.
Right. I mean, sometimes I still wonder like how she would be without autism. Like I still to this day, and I'm like, how would she be without it? But then I'm like, that's not going to happen. So there's no point in kind of like trying to play in your head like a different reality of what's in front of you.
Sure.
So
True.
I will say, don't let that part beat you up either. It's like the whole what if, like don't let the what ifs take over.
And don't beat yourself up for having negative feelings about it. I felt like there were certain times, like I said, where my older son, I'm just, saying what I think, but that he was like, this is a gyp. I kind of got gypped. Yeah. I really wanted a little brother that I could play ball with, or that I could throw the football back and forth with, or, wanted to play with me. Yeah. And he kind of got gypped on that. And so like I said, like our way of handling it was to have really great friends that kind of filled that gap for him as best we could, supplement that as much, or, encourage that as much as we ever could, but to understand that just not the way it worked out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes things just don't work out the way you really intend them to. Yeah. And it's okay to feel bad about that. It sucks. Yeah. It sucks. I get it. It sucks. Yeah. There are things we just don't like about it. Mm-hmm. But I think like in the end, when it's all said and done, we all just cope with the issues that are in front of us. Yeah. We're just coping. We're just trying to, make it to the next journey, the next part, steps of the journey, the next pieces of the next little bit of the puzzle that we're trying to just, okay, well, we got this much done.
Yeah.
And, but I've always very much admired you. And I think that you've handled it with a lot of grace.
Yes.
And you've really just done a beautiful job being a great big sister to her. And honestly, from the heart, you're doing a fabulous job.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
That's my girl.
So if you liked and enjoyed this, please comment, like, and subscribe. Please give all the information that you can back to us. If you have a sibling that has special needs, it would be great to hear from you and tell us all about it. We want to hear.
For sure. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.